Okay, here's the thing. I've been processing thoughts and it's all over the place. So I've been writing it down and I'm going to share it in a video because I'm blowing my mind. My mind is like not blowing, it's just melting, I think. It's like burning and melting somehow at the same time. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to read it. Have you ever heard of the idea that other people are reflections of ourselves? A friend once told me that relationships often show us parts of ourselves, whether they are positive or negative qualities. Either way, doesn't matter. Maybe they reveal something in us that needs healing, nurturing, or releasing. But either way, people come and go so easily in life because they act like, I almost want to say it like an energetic, like light projection in this mental escape here, right? So light is an energy, just like heat is a wave, but it's also described as information. So like a message, right? Now that message is going to be encompassing like the person, what, and specifically how you perceive them, right? That's like going to be important for the message. So now when I look at the people around me, I honestly wonder what part of myself they are reflecting. You know, roommates, parents, the specifically the people who come into your life and like it's very consistent, like you're seeing them on a daily basis, right? Teachers, things, etc. So what does each person represent as their own like pure little form as a part potentially of you, or what I already said, like to remind you of little aspects of yourself, or etc. Here we go. So I wonder that, and also what I might be representing for them, which is another fun thing to think about. Why are certain people in your life so frequently, you know, like a parent, like that archetype, and how that changes throughout our life as we change? So, like in the beginning, like they're this person you're like, you're looking up to. They provide you with like safety, or hypothetically, right? Or they should. And then it's like when you're young, it's like, ooh, that's something in yourself that you need to like develop. Like they're kind of showing you all these things that like you want to grow into. And then as you get older, like you start to see them less, and then eventually they die, and it's like that person, that like part of you, almost eventually like as you don't need that part anymore, it dies off. I almost see it that way. Like a parent, like when they pass away, maybe it's like let me just get back to it. Okay, meanwhile, others only appear briefly. I like to think about like the cycles of life exactly the way that the solar system works, and like the way that the Milky Way and like black holes and stuff, like 1,000 billion million gazillion percent. I try to like look at life like that, because like certain people are like they're like an asteroid. It's hard to say that because it's like, are we like, no, are we the Earth in this scenario? Well, I guess it's different for everybody. Are you a sun in your scenario? Are you a black hole in your scenario? Like, are you an asteroid in someone else's scenario? I feel like everyone would be a sun, and then each person has their own little solar system, but then those solar systems are all interacting as they move around like the cosmos, and like some solar systems are like tightly intertwined, others boomerang each other, others like see each other once every gazillion years. So I look at certain people and I notice like there's this cycle, like every 3 years I see this person for a couple hours, or like, and there's just something like intrinsic in that like magic of like when you see that person for that short period of time, even the longer periods of time, but like specifically like the shorter ones, it's like really hard for me to even kind of comprehend. It's like you know, like at the end of the Titanic when Rose is like holding on to Jack's hand and she's like, I won't let go. You know? It's like that feeling for me where it's like this person's about to slip away and like be on their freaking loop-de-loop again, and like it's just so interesting for me. I don't know. So why okay. What cycles do I recognize when I encounter certain people? Like some people come through at a time like let's say the person that like always shows up when you need them for something specific. Like this person always shows up when I'm about to like level up in this way. They give me that boost kind of, and then I just explode. Or that's a good example. Yeah. So what cycles do I recognize when I encounter certain people? Like yeah, even like vices too that people represent for you. Like you see it, monkey see monkey do, you start doing it. I don't know, whatever. Some people embody wisdom, logic, or strength that I find within myself, while others spark passions or interest in me through a short interaction. I even miss parts of myself. And I oftentimes wonder if the people that I'm missing, like when I'm missing somebody and I'm like aching over like a friend, family, someone I love, right? That isn't with me now, I genuinely have started to wonder like, do I miss this person because like they represent like something for me when we're that I experience when we're together, or that I imagine I would experience with them, whatever it is, like imagining them is like me projecting this like thing out into like space away from where I am, right? I'm just imagining, oh, they're all the way out there. So I wonder, like, something that's being missed inside. It's all mental. It's all mental, and it's very interesting. And then it can be emotional or somatic, like in the body, I guess, if you like decide to kind of go deeper into it. So I wonder if when someone feels distant, it's because a part of me is distant too. And of course, people don't always represent like the positive things. Like they don't always represent, I want to say, like who you are becoming. There are people who represent where you've been, right? Like this is me like trying to like idealize like this world I'm pretending to live in right now. So like I have an old friend. I have plenty of old friends. But this one, like we grew apart, and she said that to me. She was like, I think that we're both just growing apart and no longer serving like each other the way that we used to, like as far as like our presence isn't like serving us. And it's so weird because it's like as that person like disappears from my world, like I wonder a lot of things. Like am I like, I guess it represents moving away from like an aspect of myself that is just changing now. I don't know. It's very like it's very confusing. But then I also feel like when they do finally like disappear, and like that, what you're left with, like assuming you're not left with like disdain or like some kind of like thing that's not neutral, right? Something besides love, right? It's like all of a sudden now that person just becomes a part of like, I'm thinking, my spirit. You know, it's like but so I've started to see life not as like different places, but as basically like, because you're always where you are, right? And it's always now. Like, these are just normal ideals. So it's like I'm in New Jersey, and when I think about going to the other side of the country, that seems like a far way away. It seems like it would take a lot of like energy to get there. It's just so weird. But part of the way that I'm thinking is that it's almost like imagining that, okay, this is a good way to say it. It's like I'm almost looking at life like a immersive game. Like, you know those games where people are like running around on a treadmill that goes 360 degrees, or like I guess. And they have the goggles on, so it's immersive. But they never actually move. But in the game, they think they're in a different place. In the game, they're going up a mountain and it's harder and the air's thinning and blah, 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 and there's rain on them. And then they get to the bottom and it's sunny and this and that. But they never actually move. And like, that's the way I'm starting to freaking look at my own self. Like, it's really weird. It's weird in the sense that it's uncomfortable for me. But I genuinely, it's like, I don't know. Like, it's fun to think about. So it's like, okay, so let me read again. So it's like it's connected. It's here, there. Okay, something I thought of. There, like over there, was always right here. And here was never there. You feel me? So when we move from place to place, whether we're walking, driving, or flying, it's like going for a long car ride. You're stepping into a vehicle that is basically traveling like space travel. Like, what's in between planets? Nothing. But there's something there, but it's nothing. And it's all held together by gravity. Okay, going on. I think it's held together by gravity. Maybe it's held together by love. I don't know. So whether walking, driving, or flying, it's the time spent that like is basically, you're in the car, you like get in the car, you sit down, time passes, you see a bunch of shit, you're flying through space, literally, like not light speed, but pretty fast enough to squish into a patty, right? But then all of a sudden you get out of the car and now you're in a completely different world, completely different environment. Same thing goes for an airplane, a rocket ship, like, you know, a submarine, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy out here. Moving on. Do you ever wake up and wonder how you got where you are? Yeah, we all do. It's almost like an example of what I'm talking about. We don't always control where we show up in life, though. So it's like me I'm questioning, did I go anywhere? It's like an illusion. You think you're moving forward, but really everything's moving backward. You think you're moving to the left, but really everything's moving to the right. It's just like this weird thing. I don't know. Something about it. I could say that, let's see. We don't always control where we show up in life. Because I could say I want to be in where? Let's say right now I want to be in South Carolina. But can't control that. Again, it would take a lot of energy to get there, but then all of a sudden I would step out of the car or I'd step foot on the land after like days of walking and I'd say, "Oh my god, I did it. I'm here now." You know? So okay. I could say I want to be somewhere else, doing something different, but the effort it takes to shift a reality, to change the trees, the air, the ground, the people, the animals, the way not just change them, but like literally changing their DNA, like on a cellular atomic level, the world has changed around you, right? It's gone from one thing to another. That's like the way I'm looking at it right now. It's like, holy cripply, that's some serious transmutation. You know, same thing as when you like, let's say, change your health changes. Like it takes effort to go from obese to very very fit, but also once you're there, it's kind of like it's easier to look at it the other way to say like it takes a lot of energy to go from really fit to obese, right? You gotta like consume a lot of energy and store it, right? Um, and then all of a sudden you're like, how did I get to where I am? How did I get so fat? Well, beats me. The doing something different, but the effort takes. Okay, so I got off topic. Yeah, it all starts from here. Here can become there, but it was never really there. It was always here. Just needed to get transmuted. Just kidding. Not really. I'm not joking. I'm like just throwing out ideas. It's not a joke. So the other night, I stayed up with my friend till about 5 a.m. in the morning talking. And I genuinely didn't want the night to end because of this weird thing. I said something to her on the lines of like, well, we're together now. Like we're in each other's like presence now. So like we're kind of just trying to make it last because it's like once you're gone, you're gone. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. It's like because I think to myself, oh no, she's only like this many minutes away. Like I could call her, I could text her, Instagram. There's so many ways to contact this person, and like I have a car, I could go there, this and that. But just something to it, I was just like that magical quality of it, of like maybe that's the intuition speaking too. It's like I'm seeing this person and I'm like, and they're here for a reason. They're here to give me a message. You know, their presence is a message of like love, of self-love, of acceptance, of insight, and it's here for me now for a reason because that's what I needed right now. And we might not need to meet again for a period of time, aka like this cycle, the our solar systems colliding, or like let's say they're coming through as like an asteroid in my solar system. Right, magic. Okay. So stayed up till like 5 a.m. So there's something magical about the union of people. Like a meeting born of chance and choice. Not only did she represent something for me, but it's like, well, what did I represent for her? I like genuinely wonder. We may never see someone again. And I was wondering, like, maybe when people like actually die and they're like no longer on the planet, like then maybe they go from like representing a part of our psyche to like being incorporated into like a piece of our own soul. Just an idea. But I mean, there's like other ideas, but it's like, because then it's like they're like, if you believe in souls, it's not like them and their soul is now in my soul. It's like my perception of them, what they represented for me, is now solidified in who I am today. That's kind of the way I'm like thinking about it. So how does that show up in my life? So it's almost like I'm thinking too, like if people near you like need a certain message. Have you ever heard that like God speaks through people, the universe speaks through people? Well, like when we're around other people, then I guess you could say it's speaking through you. Like speaking through me, like right now. That'd be really weird. That would be awkward. Who knows? This made me so uncomfortable. How does that? It's almost weird. Okay, it is weird. We do have control over. So we don't. Maybe we don't have control over who we are and when ever did we? Anyways, is what I wrote down. What if we are shaped by the people around us and what they need us to represent and illuminate for them? So it's not like, so they say like you kind of become your environment. So change your environment and you will change yourself, change who you surround yourself with, and you will thus change. But also, if you look at it from my perspective, transmute where you are, I guess, transmute yourself, and the things around you will change. You know, the people who are around you either will change or they'll come through differently. They'll be projected differently in your world. So it makes me question if anything is real at all. But no, I'm joking. There's a fine line there, I think, though. So yeah, what if we are shaped by the people around us and what they need us to represent and illuminate for them? So maybe if I was saying, for some people, am I just like silly, like kind of like monkey in their head that like pops up and they're like, oh, Savannah would have made that silly joke, oh, she would have laughed at that, like, and then they laugh or something, I don't know. Or maybe who knows. When I come through as, okay, yeah, this is kind of the end of what I wrote, because it says there's just infinite options and possibilities. That it's literally just overwhelming, because like the infinite amount of people and like animals in your world, you know, it's crazy. So what's most important is the magical sense, or the ethereal pull of being exactly where we are, sitting in the throne of the heart. So one of the classes I've taken, when they were talking about meditating, like they talk about dropping from here. Some people say come from like the front of the forehead and go towards like up and back a little bit, like you're lifting that presence back a couple inches and up an inch or so. I was also taught take that presence and drop it down into the heart space, and like imagine that the heart space is like a throne, the perfect throne for you. So for me, it's like there's like moss and plants all over it, and it's kind of like a really cute, comfortable, like cushiony chair. And it's in front of you, it's like the projections And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's where I'm seeing life at. Like, no matter where I move my body, like the heart's always staying there and as the center point. I mean, I'm looking at it like in a specific way that I don't even know how to explain. I don't know because I'm looking at the heart like the center point. That's all. It's a given, I guess. So watching it play out, and I think that's where people are like, you can be the witness, then you can be like more zen, and then you're the sage of me. That's what I said. So yeah, that's all I got. Oh, brothers like me. Hey, how you doing? I was reading, so I didn't see any of the comments, but good to see you. I just was thinking, brainstorming about things, and like genuinely felt like it was way too much to put in an Instagram post. I was like, this is way too much, and I feel like I literally need to vocalize it in order to just like get this off my chest. You know what I'm saying? So that's like it for today. That's all. That's a wrap, people. Love it. Thank you for the support. Boop. Okay. Bye, everybody. See ya.